disc golf. A lot of people play it as a sport. You know, you're throwing a frisbee. At the end of the day, you throw a frisbee. But I take it a little more seriously. So, here we are. Everybody is looking for the Austin Howard bag check. So here I am for my first YouTube video. I'll be showing off what I'll be taking to Amateur Worlds here coming up shortly. Also, we got the Lego Movie cup filled with water. Stay hydrated. Anyway, I just want to start this off. I'm going to start putters. I'm going to move my way back up. So to start, we got the breadwinner, you know. You drive for show, you putt for dough. Unfortunately, I can't putt. So, we got the Electron Plastic Firm Electron Envy, or the Firm Electron Pilot. Now, this Pilot, I mean, base plastic, it grabs the chains better. That's really what I use it for. Anywhere, I'd say, from tapping in the pin, tapping in the putt, to like 50, 60 feet, this is the putter I'm using. And from there, we got the NADGT stamped Deputy. Now this Deputy, like, it's your understable putter. So I'm gonna be throwing it on hyzer flips. For those of you who don't know, like, the terminology, I plan on making a separate video. When that's up, I'll link it down below. Different disc golf terminology, different shot shapes, how to throw those different shots. But we'll get there when we get there. So this Deputy I'm using for uphill putts. If I just need something to stay straight longer, or if I'm throwing it, I'm going to throw it where it can flip and turn. Something where I need to make a corner or just a straight tunnel shot, hyzer flip. That's where I'm breaking this thing out at. Then we got the Zone from South Hills, Lebanon, Battle of the Hills stamped Zone. Now this is your standard, I'm doing a soft forehand up shot, or I need something to push, but get left. That's really all I use it for. It's utility. Maybe if it's a little bit of headwind, I'll putt with it. But outside of that, there's not really a whole lot going on. Now this I putted with before. The only reason I stopped is because I had the nastiest spit outs alive. This is also a Pilot. A little more premium, a little more flexible, as you can see in the camera. But I putted with it because it looked cool. Wasn't as effective as the more base plastic, grippy Pilot. So, obviously, sticking with this for now, but this is just for the extra reps. It's the same putter, just so I can load and fire. Also, apologies for the wind. I don't know how well the wind's sounding on camera, but it's really windy out for no reason. We're in Pennsylvania and it's windy out. Now, the disc I bought is a joke. The AGL Baobab. I bought this thing because it looked like a lid. Like I could cook a bowl of soup in this thing. But it is surprisingly stable. It gets to the ground quick. It doesn't believe in wind. It's against its religion. Like this thing, it'll fly, it'll go left no matter what you do to it. You can cook it over as much as you want and it will flatten out. It is stupid how stable this disc is. So yeah, if I need like a 100-foot up shot and there's like a roaring headwind, I know this thing will not move. Which, pretty great utility disc, honestly. And then my personal favorite putter in the game. I putt with it, I've thrown with it, the Envy. I mean, what can you say about an Envy? Flies straight, you can get a little turnover, you can get it to glide, pinpoint accuracy. If I'm like 200 feet away, 250 feet away from a basket, I'm pulling this out, I'm parking it. Sometimes I can putt with it. If it's like a one disc round, I'll pull the Envy out for my one disc round. Like this is my go-to upshot, short drives. I am pulling out this Envy, and I got this Envy because it looks cool. It's blue and red. You'll notice a theme. I like my discs because they look cool, and that's how it is. Going into the mid-ranges, I have 3 mids that I like to use. Starting most stable, I have a Metal Flake Justice. This Justice I'm going to use for most of my forehand approaches. I don't really ever backhand. I'm not a huge fan of backhanding super stable discs like this. But if I need to like S-curve something or just get it to sit, any kind of upshot where it's kind of a little more technical, I'm going to pull my Justice out. It's a great utility disc. You know, you can push it for like 250, 300 feet if you need to. But yeah, that's what I'm using this Metal Flake Lucid Justice for. Next we have the Chris Clemens Fusion X Verdict. This I'm using on any of my 300 foot, 250 foot straight shots that I need to finish left on. I mean, it's a good utility disc. It'll fly straight for you if you put any kind of power on it. If you power down on it, it'll hyzer for you. You can put it on a spike hyzer and it'll carry. It's a pretty good all-around mid-range. I use it for a lot of my more stable-looking shots. Next, you got the Opto Compass. This compass, it's pinpoint. If I'm staring down a tunnel and I just need to get point A to point B, I'm pulling this compass out, throw it straight, it'll land straight. There's really no bells and whistles behind it. Just point and shoot kind of disc. Next, going into the fairway drivers. Starting off, I have a Opto Explorer. This is also another point and shoot disc. If I need to push something 320 to 350 feet away, push straight, finish left, I'm pulling this Explorer out. You'll see it probably more on these more open holes where it's just kind of a point and shoot kind of hole. It's too close for a distance driver, too far for a mid-range. It's usually where I'm going to pull this thing out. The Jennifer Allen Champion Glow T-Bird. I cannot say enough good things about this disc. It's fantastic. I mean, I can throw it on hyzer, it'll push hyzer. If I throw it flat, it'll fly flat forever before finishing left. If I need to spike hyzer it, I'm pulling this disc out. Like, any kind of technical hyzer shot, this is the disc I'm pulling out. If I just need a quick get around a corner, a skip shot, any kind of hyzer shot at all, this is getting pulled out like 5-10 times around sometimes. I love this disc to death. It does a billion things correct. Like, you can't go wrong with a Champion T-Bird. You can't. Next I have a Star Roadrunner. This, I'm most likely, if I'm pulling this out, I'm usually in trouble. If I'm behind some brush, I'm going to put it in the thumber. I'm going to throw a thumber with it. Maybe a forehand if I really need to reach around and kind of work a corner. Or if I'm just looking to get a nice fading turnover. Or even a roller. It's a disc with a lot of potential. I throw it for a lot of different shots. It's very particular because I do have a pretty good forehand. But if I need something to push a little further and arc right, I'm going to pull out this Star Roadrunner. Probably my favorite disc in my bag, my Halo TL3. This was, fun backstory, this was the first disc I ever got. I bought it off of Amazon because it looked cool. I didn't know anything about disc golf at the time. It was just, look, I searched up cool looking disc golf discs. This came up, I bought it. But it started off stable, a nice kind of, let me just pick it up, let me throw it, let me see what happens disc. It kind of evolved. I used to putt with it because it's the only disc I had. And now it's more of a straight shot, point and shoot. If I have a 300-foot tunnel, if I need any kind of accurate shot, I'm pulling this out. No wind, usually, because I started beating it in now. Halo's pretty tough, durable plastic. Won't beat in fast, so I finally beat it in after a year and a half of playing to the point where it kind of pushes and flips. I can hyzer flip it up to flat and push really far if I need to. It's just a really reliable disc. I know exactly what it's going to do. It's been in my bag the longest, and it's just, I love this thing. If I lost this, I'd be looking for it for hours. I will dive in a lake for this disc. This is my baby. And finally, the Centurion by, I believe it's Infinite Discs, but the mold itself is made by Innova Champion. It's printed along the back, you can see Innova. But honestly, it fills about the same spot as my TL3 does. It's kind of a hyzer flip disc. If I'm looking for a little bit of turnover, a little bit of fade, I'll pull this out. I don't use it a lot. It looks cool, which is why it's in the bag. And there are very few particular shots where I kind of need something to more flip and push versus the TL3, which will flip and fade a little. So it's a very particular shot, but I'm very thankful to have it when I do need that particular shot. So doesn't get a lot of love. Super amazing looking stamp. Shout out to Andrew Marweed. It's Andrew Marweed Squirrel S Blend, I believe. But yeah, one more drink. All right, we got the Opto musket for my distance drivers now. This serves about the same purpose as the TL3, but obviously flies further as a 10-speed. Just your standard hyzer flip. I need to push far. I need a controlled shot or a controlled up shot from like 300, 350 feet away. I'm gonna pull out the musket. It'll get it done. There's some tailwind. I might pull it out on a little flex and let it ride. It's not a, it's a little particular of a shot, but I am gonna pull out the musket for more of those hyzer flip to flat and drive kind of shots. Next, we have the Shasta Chris. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hurricane. For this Hurricane, it's dummy stable. I will throw it when there's a lot of headwind or if I need to be moving left in an instant. This thing is the perfect stability where it really doesn't flip. You could have 20 mile per hour headwind. If I throw it a little bit of hyzer, it'll flip to flat and push for me. Nice stable control driver. You really can't go wrong with it. Next I have my South Hills Classic Shrike. Now the Shrike I'm using for big panning turnovers. Like if I need something to just huge rip on an anhyzer, super high, let it just coast and settle for 400 feet, 450 feet of distance. That's what I'm using this for. This is max distance. I'm going big. And that's really all it is. This is my home run hitter if I'm really trying to push something. Now, my favorite driver we're getting into, the Wraith. Anybody who knows me, I will endlessly praise a Wraith to no end. They're the perfect driver. They do nothing wrong. That's just how it is. I have a few. This one is my champion Wraith. Most of the time, I'm going to use this for most of my drives. I can get it where if I throw a little bit of hyzer, it'll flip up to flat, push for like 400, 420 feet, just on a straight shot. Like, I love this disc. It's so great. Next, we're going to pull out another Wraith. This one is my Nathan Queen Tour Series stamp, Nathan Queen Wraith. This one I'm throwing, basically, if I want another turnover, kind of like the Shrike, but less distance. It's a little more controllable. I'll throw it hyzer, it'll flip and coast. So if I need something to gradually turn, or just a huge spike hyzer, or maybe even a roller, I'll break this Star Wraith out. And next I have a Halo Wraith, Garrett Girthy Wraith. This is the 2022 one, I believe. This is my most stable Wraith. Again, in headwind, but not as strong. I'll pull this out to kind of push distance. Or if I need a placement shot where I just need to hyzer out like 300, 350 feet away, pull this out, push it straight, let it do its work for me. Again, a Wraith, multi-dimensional. I have different plastics for it because it's a great disc and there's nothing wrong with it. But also, such a sick stamp. I mean, come on. The Halo discs are cool. I'm a nerd for this kind of thing. Just picked up this disc the other day. This is a Metal Flake Lucid Felon. The Felon is going to be my forehand disc for anything stable. If there's headwind, if I need a flex shot to get it to flex and ride, if I just need to be moving right, like it doesn't matter. I'm pulling this Felon out, just these big popping anhyzers to get over. It's just, I can do a lot of things with a Felon. It's a great disc. Maybe even if I need a low skip shot backhand, let it skip and flare. But yeah, that's a Felon for you. Beautiful, again. Like Metal Flake, I don't know if you can see it. Such a nice disc. And finally, I have a Glow Champion Sexton Firebird. Everyone loves a sexy bird. It's how it is. Nate Sexton, one of the best forehanders ever. Naturally, you have to have your own. This I'm going to use for more of my distance forehands. If I'm trying to get around 270 to 300 feet on my forehand, trying to push straight, I can cook it on a little bit of turn. It'll hold it before working itself out and finishing. It's a little beat in, so it'll push a little flat, a little straighter, longer. But this is, if I'm going for distance forehands, you got to go with the Sexy Bird. You're playing in a big tournament, you're bound to lose discs. So I picked up a few spares. I have a few spares as well. Anyone who knows me, in fact, anyone who has any idea of who I am in real life, comment down below and just give a guess on how many discs I've lost in the past month or two. I lose a lot of discs. So I have some backups coming up for Worlds here. First and foremost, you should have already guessed it, I got another ring. I just got it today. Beautiful orange and green. Like, you can't go wrong with it. It's a little lighter at 171. Most of my race go for 173 grams to 174 grams. But if I end up losing my yellow champion, I have this orange one to replace it so that I'm not stuck lost. Like, oh no, I don't have my Wraith. So I got an extra one just in case. I just picked up this used Discraft Big Z Comet. I've never thrown a Comet before. I'm gonna be real with you. Looks like an understable mid. I'm gonna test it out in the field a little bit, but for, I guess, those shorter turnover shots, or if I just need a little more control and less arm speed, I'll probably pull this out instead of the compass. Not sure how it flies. It might replace the compass entirely. I might just fit it in the bag as it is and, you know, find a fourth mid-range spot for it. Not sure yet, but I'm pretty excited to have it because I don't really have an understable mid. So this will be nice to have. And finally, I got a nice Metal Flake Sparkle VIP warship. It looked cool. In all seriousness, I picked this up kind of as a compass killer. It's glidier from what I know. I've only thrown a warship a few times. It was a long time ago. I believe they're a little understable, but I'm gonna test this out in the field, test it out at Worlds a little bit, kind of see how it flies. Maybe I like it more than the compass. If not, then the compass will stay in the bag and this will just be a backup for it. Not entirely sure yet, but I have this basically as of now as a backup for the compass. And that's today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Please comment below different ideas or tricks or whatever you have for me, video ideas. I'm going to be vlogging my trip to Indiana and playing in Worlds, so stay in tune for that. Probably be videoing some of my practice rounds. Obviously, I don't think I'll be able to video a lot of my competition rounds, but I'll be posting on my Instagram and my Facebook about how I'm doing each round, and then obviously you'll see the vlog for the entire thing. So other than that, have a great day, guys. I'm really glad I got to start this YouTube. Hopefully you guys like it. Like, share, subscribe, whatever the YouTubers are supposed to say. But yeah, have a good one.